we have back the right stuff to do the intro and
That's right.
everything. Woohoo!
Fixed it.
Yeah, fixed. Yeah, that was so disappointing having that stupid like weird whatever music countdown
Yeah,
and
it's like super like angsty. Like I don't
yeah,
know. It
yeah.
was
I
weird.
mean, inks. It's a great word for it. It was terrible. So anyway,
Yeah.
Tyler fixed it. Thank you, Tyler. I gave him full admin access, and he went around and I guess there was some way to undo the studio setting.
Unscrew how screwed it was.
Yeah. So
And now I can do this too. Ooh.
yes, look at that. Yeah,
Hey.
Dan's hands are off.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't mess stuff up too much. Don't do things that cost me money.
Yeah. Don't randomly go live with inappropriate things.
Right. Yeah. Jeez. Well, it's good to be back home. We Tyler and I drove close to 3,000 miles, I think.
Yeah.
Might have been over 3,000 miles.
With the miles on the Dragon and in Pittsburgh, it
Oh,
was probably
definitely.
over 3. Yeah.
Way over 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we put about 250, 300. No, we put probably 300 miles on the GT40.
Nice.
And then the detour to the Dragon added a little bit. So it was basically like 1,500 miles up and like 1,400 miles or 1,450 miles back. So
nice.
There were approximately, I'm going to guess, they didn't really give us official count, but I think there's about 75 GT40s there. I would say probably about 60 GT40 Mark 1 and Mark 2s. There was like 4 or 5 Mark 4s, the J car.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I'm going to say 10 of the 05 GTs.
About, yeah.
And then like 6 or 7 of the brand new GTs.
Yep. It was super hard to like get them all and like count them because people were in their own paddocks. They're actually racing and like people come and go. Yeah. So it was hard to get a total count.
Yeah. And there was never like one like, oh, this is just all the GT40s, except for the picture at the end, which I would assume almost all of the GT40s showed up for the picture. But then we were trying to count them and
we
ran out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you just watched it. Oh, don't tell anyone because that one hasn't gone public yet.
Oh,
You're a member of the channel, so you get to see it early. Any luck selling the GT40? Not yet. I have had one phone call after getting home. A gentleman called me, I think yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday or today? Yeah, it was yesterday because I was editing. That's right. This is the funny thing about doing an event like this, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm ready to sell it. Like mentally, I'm like, okay, it just needs to go away, blah, 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 right? We go to this event and it totally reignites my love for that car.
Oh, totally.
Like, it was just like, oh my God, I totally love this car. Like, do I really want to sell it? I don't really want to sell. So then I get a phone call while I'm editing the video. Like I'm literally watching GT40s on the track and everything. Like I'm like digging it. I'm like, this is awesome. I love this. And I get a phone call and the guy's like, hey, I'm interested in GT40. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And he's like, well, I've already owned one, which is always a great sign. Like, and he's like, so I want to get one again. But he's like, I'm not really desperate for one. I want to get one, but I want to get the right one and blah, blah. Right. Like, I hear you. And I'm like, I'm telling him about my car and how I think this is like I'm not trying to toot my own horn too much, but I think mine's a better than typical example based on some of its options and stuff. So then the guy's like, well, because I'm not really all that super interested into it, he gave me he's like, what's your bottom number? And I kind of said, well, here's what I think I could probably take at the bottom end. And he gave me his top end number and there's a big gap. And so it's a big, like if it was a small gap, I'd be like, hey, let's split the middle or something like that. Right. But yeah, it's it's like, oh, that's a large amount of money gap. And so I kind of like, it was funny because initially Meg was like, you just need to get rid of it, get rid of it. And so I tell her, hey, we got an offer for this much. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think that's worth it. She's like, you think you can get more than that? I'm like, yeah, I definitely think get more than that. And so she's like, yeah, I think we got to wait. And I'm like, I agree.
Yeah.
So,
well, like they're talking to people, like everyone we talked to about buying it was like, oh, I've got one on order. So yeah. It was like, well, shit, there you go. Like,
and that's the problem, right? Like, I think this car in particular, because they still make it, a lot of people just buy the one they want.
Yep.
Like they customize it to whatever you need.
And I had no idea there was that many customizations on those too. So that was cool to learn.
Like, it's like a Ferrari in the respect that you can get anything you want on it. Like they have a ton of crap that you can choose on it.
Yep.
So I didn't meet any of the other YouTubers. I saw the dude in blue. We also saw what's his name? Dr. M3.
Yeah, Dr. M3.
I didn't get a chance to say hi.
Yeah, he had a crowd of people around him, then he left.
Yeah, he was he was involved.
Yeah.
The dude in blue was at the dinner on Friday night, but he was like doing his thing, right? He was like taking pictures and whatever. So I didn't want to interrupt him. And honestly, I don't really know him that well. Like I've seen like 3 of his videos or something. Yeah. I'm not a like big fan, so I'm not. It's not like I'm gonna go fanboy out for someone I'm not a fanboy of.
Yeah. I met a guy in the beer line. He's building a kit GT40 on YouTube. I forget his name, but I have his card downstairs. But
that's cool.
Yeah, there's a few.
And that's the other thing. A lot of people actually build them themselves. So it's a weird car. It's a very niche market car, and I think that's what makes it so hard to sell. Is that you don't just like accidentally fall into buying a GT40, right? Like you really gotta like them, and you really gotta like accept the limitations of that car before you buy it. So did I get to drive Pit Race? Yes. It is you are right. It is a fantastic track. That might be one of the nicest facilities like that I've been to. COTA, COTA's crazy, right? Like COTA's big and over the top. I felt more comfortable there driving that track than I do at COTA. Part of it's like there's just so much runoff, and it also has like a bit more of that like good old boy feel to it. Like I know, like not in a redneck sense, right? But it was like I felt very welcomed and very at home there. It kind of reminded me a lot of when I was younger and I used to go to the drag strip, and like everyone was just kind of cool and chill and whatever. Like, yes, they're taking safety seriously and everything, but like it was just kind of more relaxed.
Yeah, well, it felt like we talked about this walking around. Like it felt like everyone there was welcome.
Yeah,
which is super cool. Like the people tailgating were just as welcome as the racers, and it was neat.
Yeah, and there was a lot of like that cool stuff where people were just tailgating, drinking beers or whatever, sitting up on the hill.
Oh yeah, some of the setups those people had, they had grills and griddles and full Bloody Mary bars set up.
Like, oh yeah, they were living it. They were living it up. So
good stuff.
It's funny because like it was such a nice facility that I'm like, man, I would go back like if it weren't for the fact that it was so far away.
Yep.
But if there was another event that was really motivating, I would absolutely be willing to like do that same thing again. Although if I was to do it again, I would want to arrive on a Thursday, stay Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then leave on Monday.
Yeah.
So it's not quite the hustle. Because I don't think I'm like, I think maybe I'm now recovered. Like I was so exhausted on Tuesday and like Wednesday. I just like my eyes hurt. I was so tired. I kept yawning everywhere I went.
Oh yeah. There was an outage at work Tuesday, so I ended up having to work till midnight.
Someone just drove by in a purple Nova.
Ooh.
Who's got a purple Nova in my neighborhood?
It's time to go find out.
Dude, I'm gonna have to post on the little Facebook group. That is not a car I've seen in this neighborhood before.
That's awesome.
Hopefully it's someone who owns it in the neighborhood and not a friend, because that's cool. Anyway, let's see, catching up on some stuff. Yeah, if you do want to see the videos that we before they actually go public, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but as a member, when you watch it before it goes public, there's no ads, right? Because it's private.
I think already paid for it.
Right. So correct me if I'm wrong, but anyway, you can become a member of the channel. I don't really push that much, but that is one of the best features. I don't know, rewards, whatever you call it. Are prospective GT40 buyers more like Ferrari buyers or Corvette buyers? They're their own.
Yeah, I have to agree.
The demographic is more Corvette. Like, it's, not to be offensive, but it's old white guys, generally speaking. Yeah. Like, I'm definitely the youngest GT40 owner at that event, probably. But at the same time, you have to have pretty substantial means to do it. So you're probably a little bit more refined than a typical Corvette owner. And again, I'm not trying to be offensive, but that's just kind of how it is. So there you go. Thoughts on the new ZR1? It's insane. I want one. Can someone please buy one and let me borrow it?
I like it.
Layman question: can the bodies be swapped off the chassis, say to a Daytona Coupe or something else? No, I don't believe so. I think it's so the Superformance GT40 is made from the original blueprints, and from what I understand, it's 85% interchangeable with an actual GT40. So it's very specific to that car and to that chassis and to that platform. So no, it's not like a generic chassis. Dang, that was my brother. You felt welcome because you were. It's a Burr thing. I've heard that now. People like texted me and stuff like, "How did you like the Berg?"
Oh God, I'm like, I like it less with that nickname.
Right? The Berg. It's funny. Yeah, that's true. It's not purple. It's Plum Crazy. No, Plum Crazy is for Chrysler products. This is a Chevy Nova, so it's not Plum Crazy. Most likely, unless they did. Oh, no ads. Sweet. Okay, so if you do the membership thing and I pre-release it and you get to watch it, no ads. That's cool. How to become a stock/member? There's a button on our channel. You just click it.
Next to the subscribe button, there's a join button.
Oh.
What's up?
Sorry, I was having trouble. My audio was not working for some
reason. They went back to the Tyler. Figured out how to get back to the old thing.
Oh, it is different.
Yeah.
See? It's much better.
How did you do that?
It was in some hidden menu, like 3 layers deep.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree, BB. I can't live without YouTube Premium. I can't, like, it's so funny. Every time I watch YouTube on like a someone else's system or whatever, and also I see ads, I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
worst, I'm too cheap to do it, but maybe I should. But the worst is when I watch a political video and it has an ad for the opposing politician.
All right, that's actually kind of funny. Yeah. Hey now, I drink some good wine, I'll have you know. Just because my beer choices are not refined. Seriously, this was, I would do this trip again anytime.
Oh yeah.
It was super fun.
Those roads down there are so incredible.
So the Dragon video is coming out on Saturday, and then the PVGP video is coming out on Sunday. So for the Dragon, I might as well tell you guys about it. We've totally decided we are going back for sure. And so we're gonna just find a date and then book rooms at that same hotel. And then we're going to tell you what dates will be there, and you guys can book your own hotels or whatever. I'm done organizing events. So with the cancellation of the tour, I'm done.
Yep.
That's it. But, that way you guys could still come join us or whatever. So, yeah. Oh, hey, BB. Your first month, Josh, you'll never go back.
Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, so I probably should.
Yeah.
Especially if you watch YouTube regularly. I mean,
I don't watch
Cancel.
TV. I pretty much only watch interesting stuff on YouTube. That's
Yep.
it.
I
Cancel
only
your
have,
Spotify and use YouTube Music, and it pays for itself.
yeah. I mean, I
Oh,
would
You
say
don't use Spotify with YouTube.
No.
no. I just use YouTube Music.
It has their own service.
Yeah.
Is it
That
just
comes
as
with-
good?
It has better audio quality, but less selection.
I don't care about the audio quality.
Yeah.
Listen to it in the car. It's not like it's going to make a difference.
Why,
Okay, I guess I'll sign up for it, BB.
I did not sign up for the this coming weekend's events because I needed to get back home
Yeah.
and I couldn't be gone for a full week. Meg would have murdered me. So that's why
Well, we already were gone for 6 days, so
we were gone for 6
another
days. Yeah.
full week. Yeah.
Add a full week to that, Meg would just be like, "Don't come home, unless you're dead."
Yeah. Or without no
Or
car
what-
in the trailer.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. It was funny because I was trying to like remember who lives out there, and I kept thinking north, and I wasn't thinking south. And so like I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Like Steven lives up there, and Carrie lives up there, and I just like in my mind I had a mental map of everything above Tennessee, and then on the road, all of a sudden like,
Yeah.
Tyler,
We
wait a
saw
minute.
the signs for like exit to Atlanta. We're like,
Yeah, we saw
Jeff!
some sign for Atlanta, and I'm like, Jeff, crap, we didn't call Jeff.
oh my god.
I felt like a dumbass. I was like, he's probably the closest one,
Yeah.
and I think you are. Anyway, there you go. How's everyone's personal cars?
I pulled the transmission out of my car yesterday,
Again,
Oh no.
so trying to figure out what's up with it.
Do you have any hints after taking it out?
No,
All right.
nope. I'm
Something's
sending
up-
the clutch
thumbs up
back.
the clutch.
I'm sending that back to the guys that rebuilt it, and they're gonna take it all apart and make sure it's all perfect and send me a new one. Other than that, I can't see anything that's wrong. Everything looks fine.
That was pretty impressive. So, Pega Clutch, GTE Engineering, he was like, he's been on the phone with us multiple times. He's been super helpful. So that's
Nice.
like,
We're talking about my 430.
yeah. So
I don't know what
NGS
Fred wants you to do, but
I like this. The NGS Tell the Dragon devaluation tour. Every man for himself.
I like it.
Basically, yeah.
Well, we were talking about that too. Like, instead of trying to get 12 cars to stay in a group, like people break off in little groups and go do your own thing, drive what you want.
I think that's how he'll do it. Is
Yep.
like so. Basically, we'll say, "Hey, we're gonna be here from this date to this date," and then every morning, probably I'll just create a group text or whatever, and say, "Hey, these are the roads I'm doing today. I don't give a shit what you're doing. You can do whatever you want. You know, if you don't want to come this way, don't." Because like one of the things I wanted to do, I figure if I was gonna go back, I want to be at the Dragon for I think 3 days.
This is a great analogy.
Nice.
That's not bad. But I think 3 days at the Dragon, I think would be pretty good, 4 at the most.
Yeah.
Because like you want to do the Dragon, okay. I want a day where I can just sit there on a corner, set up a tent, and take pictures and watch cars go by and stuff. Because I think it'd be fun.
I wonder
Yep.
if you could drink while you were doing that somehow.
I mean, so you could probably put it in a bag.
You know, solid
Yeah.
cups. They would never know.
And then another day to do all the other roads that are nearby and stuff. So 3 days, I think is about right.
Gerald, is that how you say your name, Gerald?
Or is it-
I like R8s. I've owned an R8. I think they're good cars. I think the market is a little undervalued for what it is. That's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of, I think, more of the attitude that we would do. And that's the other thing is like then we don't have to organize dinners and lunches for everyone or whatever. We'll just, say, hey, we're gonna try and eat at this place at this time if you want to, because that's really the hard part, is just like when you start getting 10, 15, 20 people getting dinners and restaurants and whatever, it's a lot of logistics and organization and BS and whatever. So yeah, we'll just have Kerry come back and he'll be our tour guide.
There you go. After he sells me his 458.
That sounds great.
Yeah, even better.
Oh, as long as Kerry and Fred are both here, Kerry, Fred said no, you can't take his 308 and drive it to California.
Aww. Aww.
I wouldn't want to drive it that far. That'd be
that was rough. There's like the will it make it? And then
it'd probably make it, but that'd be
it'll be broken.
I mean, the problem with that is like if it breaks, there's not parts along the way.
Oh, you're getting it shipped home if it breaks down.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're gonna have to have someone come get it if it breaks. The other thing is, as Fred pointed out, it's all original paint, and so that's a lot of risk for that paint.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, yeah,
that's true.
I was like, that's legit. Oh, check this out. If you haven't seen my Instagram, this picture was taken by Killboy. If it loads, there you go. I think it's just that is the most epic picture of the GT40 I've ever seen.
Yep.
I mean, it's just perfect with the wet road, the lights reflecting off of it, the rain. It's just badass. So they did that one. I got this one, which is this is funny. This is the exact same corner, just later in the day when it was dry.
Yep. Or drier. It was still
drier.
damp.
Yeah.
But...
And then I got this one. That's just to show you how wet it is. And then this one. There you go.
Yep. And that last picture really shows how low to the ground that car is. Holy cow.
Yeah. My favorite was I posted that picture of the 3 cars that Star the Dragon, and someone's like, "That looks like a damn Matchbox car next to those other cars."
Yep.
Yeah, people have no idea how tiny that thing is until you see it in person.
Sick burn.
You asshole.
You should have seen it from the inside.
Right?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Too much.
Very, very sketchy. That car.
Yeah.
The biggest problem is that it's so light that hydroplanes super easily.
Yep.
So any standing water was just butt puckering.
Those first couple were like, okay, we're still on the road.
Yeah. It's like it would shift the car over. Like it would just like pick up the car in the air and then move it over and then plant it back down. And you're like, you could feel it.
Yeah,
No.
especially those old like replication tires. Like, oh, it was.
Yeah, that was.
It was fun.
Yeah. So obviously we weren't going super fast because I was like, yeah, don't need to die. But
it worked well. Like if you saw the water on the road, you let off and just held straight.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Every time there's standing water, I just there you go. Just would drive straight, let off, push in the clutch, just kind of glide over it, right? There were some pucker factors. There was honestly actually driving the Dragon, there really wasn't because we weren't pushing it. Like there was 1 or 2 corners that kind of like had like a decreasing radius, and I would already be at like 85% of its steering lock, and all of a sudden it goes sharper, and I'm like 95%. I'm like, if it goes any further, we're going off the road because it doesn't have like that car does not have a very sharp steering ability. So that was a concern of mine, is on some of those like 90-degree, very short turns. I was worried that it wouldn't actually make the angle.
Yeah. Even the Super G was like full, like you couldn't turn your arm anymore. You had to lift off like you were doing, like to get around some of those corners. Like you were hitting your leg.
Yeah. So if you when you guys watch the video on Saturday when it comes out, you'll see that like from the rear view you can see me, you can see my hands on the steering wheel. And the problem is as soon as I get to here, this arm is hitting my leg. So it can't go any further, right? So what I had to do is I had to start anticipating the turn and then reposition my hands in order to get the turn to where I needed it to be. But it took me a few minutes to figure that out. So like the first few corners, I'm fumbling around and doing a very poor job of it. And you want to be pushing, not pulling. And so like it just anyway, it took a little bit to get used to it. So what is the current inventory? We have 2 430 Spyders, both Rosa Corsa tan. One is a 2005, one is a 2007. Both are in the 30-something thousand mile range, and both are listed at currently $119,000. We have the Roma sold. Finally.
Yay!
Yeah. Yes, the Roma sold.
We have the GT3, we have the Firebird, we got the GT350.
Trans Am.
I thought it was a Firebird.
Oh yeah, sorry, the Firebird. What's a Firebird Trans Am? W6. Yeah, it's the Firebird Trans Am W6.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. I think that's it. Oh, we're getting so we actually have the 458, but it's already sold.
Oh, nice.
So, we had the GT4, and our friend traded Hoovie's old salvage 458 on the GT4. So then we now have Hoovie's salvage 458, and someone is trading another GT4 for it. So.
That's hilarious.
Weird.
There's actually 2 360s on eBay right now with super high miles. I think one of them's like 90,000 miles.
Wait, 75,000 miles on it? Oh, damn. Good on that person.
Yeah.
There's one with even more. There's one with 93,000 miles.
Wow.
There. Stuff's going on over there. It was my kiddo's birthday recently, so he is officially 3.
Yes.
And playing with stuff.
Are you talking US dollars or Canadian dollars 150?
Yeah, Canadian rubles.
Because 150 Canadian would be a pretty good deal.
I say, isn't that closer to
like what, 110 or something?
110, 120 US right now?
Yeah.
I don't know the exact conversion right now. It's so weird because it used to always be the other way. I don't know if you can hear all that. I'm sure you can.
Yep.
Okay.
108,000.
108. Oh, yeah. Dude.
Wow. $1 is $1.39 in Canada.
Damn.
You forgot.
So that's really cheap.
Canada A.
Well, but it's not for them.
Yeah, it's not for them.
Well, I mean,
150 is still 150 for them.
But is 150 actually like? Would it feel the same as 150 here?
Yeah, like, it would. I mean, for them,
somebody makes $1 here. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I mean, if all things are equal and our dollar's worth $1.38 there, I feel bad for them.
Well, it's only a factor if you're doing conversions, but if you're living in it, it's always the same, right?
Well, like how much is a gallon of milk up there?
Good question.
Is it like if it's $2 here, is it $2.72 up there or what?
Nice. Baseball. My parents gave him a baseball set for his birthday, and He's apparently liking it. Let's play baseball inside.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, ready for broken windows?
At least it's plastic.
True.
I'm very proud of something though. As a gearhead, a gallon of milk's $4.13. That's about the same.
I haven't bought milk in a while.
A gallon of milk at HEB is like $3.
I'd say, but if you get like organic or whatever, it can be 4 or 5. So the cheapo whatever milk is probably 3, might even be $3.99. I think it's pretty comparable. Yeah. Anyway, average salaries are about the same between the U.S. and Canada.
Well, then that really Canadians.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's expensive for them. It's cheap for us to buy one right now.
And you can blame your I don't know, whatever you want to call him, your leader, Justin Trudeau. He sucks.
I think most Canadians would agree with you. So.
Oh Lord.
I don't understand how so many people can hate a politician and he still figures out some way to weasel into office. It's crazy.
Yep.
Look at our entire political system right now. That's just every politician. Period. We can't go there.
Way more people out there that suck than you think.
There are
realize
there are politicians who are the exception who you occasionally like them. The rest are all shit. So anyway, there you go. There's my political belief. They all suck. Anyway, when you sell your 2 cars, get an FF, then you can take the whole family out anytime. Definitely not.
I would take an FF.
I would take one, but I'm not going to buy one.
Okay, that's a good distinction. Yeah.
No, so the Scud needs to go at this point. See, this is why you can't talk politics, because now they're all talking politics. That's why you don't bring it up. You broke my rule. It's my cardinal rule.
$6 for milk in Canada.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's the nice stuff. Yeah.
What else is going on?
So I need 2 cents here. What's about the same?
If you know anyone who wants a Scud, I'm selling mine. It needs to go because I need to buy back the GT40 from the dealership. So got to do that soon. Yeah, we need an inventory. So if you guys know of any Ferraris for sale, we're definitely interested in that. You know, we need stuff. We need cars. Oh, good news. We have a conversion kit available.
Ooh.
If someone, we have a wait list. I've reached out to a few people on it. And of course that was, they've all inquired over the last months. And so they're like, oh, that was a couple months ago, whatever's changed, blah, blah, blah. So, do I need to shut the door, by the way? Is that too loud?
Probably.
Okay.
Just a little. It's definitely playtime. Yeah, I mean, money this year is tight everywhere, so I get people like, it's been a month, I can't afford that anymore. So.
Yeah. So, if you want a conversion, we have one available, but basically, if no one claims it in the next probably, week or so, we're just going to convert one of the 430s that we have already. Because, yes, it's specifically a 430 conversion kit. It's not a 360 conversion kit. And it's a clutch in and EDIF keep kit.
Nice.
Oh, look at you. I'm going...
Yeah.
You're going to Exotics on Broadway, taking 2 Ferraris to show with our company logo. Very cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, if you go to the VIP, if you're going to go to Exotics on Broadway and show a car, you have to do VIP. It's really annoying if you don't do VIP because there's so many people. It's just the cluster.
And the free champagne and snacks are good too.
Yeah, it was nice to be in the shade.
Yeah. Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
They didn't have chairs though. The chairs would have been nice.
Yeah, I definitely would not do that without VIP. No way.
Yeah.
There's no way. I don't care what car is there.
Yeah, it's a cluster. It was a cluster.
Yeah, and just to get away from the 40,000 people you're packed on a street with was nice too.
So Josh, if you could take the Scud or 356, which would you drive?
What does history mean?
Yeah, history.
It depends on what you're going to do, because they're so different.
I'd say, are you cruising to like a car show? Are you going on some back roads? Are you?
I'm going on back roads. I'm taking the Scud for sure. The only way I would take the 356 is if it was just like a chill Sunday morning drive to Cars and Coffee or something. I'd take the 356.
I feel like that's a car you go out and literally go get a cup of coffee in.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's the literal manifestation of Cars and Coffee. What happened to Chuck from Chino Hills? I
reached out to him. He haven't heard back yet. Because he wanted a conversion, but he hasn't responded.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't talk to him, so there you go. I
did.
That's why I'm like, who's Chuck? What is going on with the FF? Has it increased in value over the last year? Yes, it has.
I think people realized that they were a bargain when they were like $100,000.
Yeah.
And they started buying them. But also, they have issues. So that scares people away.
They have that PTU or PTO unit or whatever.
PTU and the transmission sensor both are issues on that car.
Mm-hmm. By the way, we talked to a company, and we believe we're going to be able to start offering warranties on cars that we sell, like Ferraris and everything.
They will be very expensive, but they will be warranties that cover everything.
But they're cheaper than a Ferrari warranty. It's so like they're not cheap, but they're cheaper than the $6,500 a year that Ferrari wants. So anyway, we're going to talk to them soon and hammer out the details.
Bill, I would take the 07 only because it's got more options on it. It's got carbon ceramics. It's got a carbon steering wheel. It's got the rear carbon grille.
It's tough because the 05 has a cleaner interior. Like it's just in better condition. Yeah. I think that car's just in better condition, period. But the 07 definitely has the options that you want. It's got the carbon ceramics and all that stuff. So the cost of converting a 430 is currently, it starts at $20,000.
And that's the do-it-yourself price, right?
No, that's if we do it.
Oh, it is? Okay.
If you buy just a kit, it's like $13,500 or something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. Relatively.
Yeah. Yeah. Does Homelander drive a Ferrari or a Lambo?
He can fly. He doesn't need any of those.
He doesn't need a car.
Come on now. But he'd totally be a Lambo person.
Yeah. He's definitely a Lambo guy. Not even a chance. How much better is the GT4 Lusso than the FF? Worth the difference?
Was the difference like 100,000 right now? Roughly?
No, it can be. Depends on options and miles.
I mean, the Lusso has a much better interior, in my opinion.
It's also, I believe, got the rear steer, right?
Yeah. I think so.
And you can get the Lusso with a V8 or a V12. You got to get the V12.
No one gets the V8.
Yeah, you got to get the V12.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff, our friend who's here, if he sees this, he's had both. And he'll probably tell you he loves the Lusso. Oh, yeah. Definitely. You hit the nail on the head there.
Yep.
He drives a Viper. Good boy. No, wait. He drives like a Demon or a Hellcat.
There you go. Yeah.
That's what he drives.
Speaking of Vipers, that blue 97 with the low miles that we had is coming back. So if anyone's interested in that.
For sure?
Yeah. I talked to him yesterday on the phone.
Oh, I thought he wasn't sure.
No, he's 100% doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do we have a price and everything?
Somewhat, yeah.
Somewhat. All right. The warranty you guys sell, can you take the car to a Ferrari dealer? think.
I would
maybe?
think so. I would think
I mean-
so. We're not sure all of the details yet. We still have to meet with the guy.
Ah, here you go. See, he's owned both. It's that much better, huh? Car Shield. Oh, Assurant. I think that's the name of the company, isn't it?
Maybe? I don't remember.
I don't remember. Oh, yeah. F1 on summer break.
Yeah, we missed that race. We were driving.
Yeah. I watched the highlights later, and it was actually a pretty good race.
Yeah.
I'm actually impressed. We actually have an F1 season where it's not just one person winning the entire season.
It started out that way, and it was like, it's gonna be boring. And then
Right?
I think
McLaren
it,
fixed it. And
I think it's all
Mercedes is-
rigged because I think that's how it started out. It did start out like that, and then they were like, "Our viewership is way down. We need to like spice things up."
Probably.
They probably they're like, hey, tell you what, Verstappen, sandbag it, and we'll give you an extra $100 million or some crazy shit. He's like, all right,
Yeah,
you know.
I can do that. I don't know. Some of his comments on the radio, though, like he actually seems frustrated. So well,
All
Good.
part of
it could be, or they could just not be telling him the
he's
plot.
still way. He's like what 80 points ahead or something. He's still way
Yeah.
far ahead of everybody.
Yeah,
Lando would have to win every race to.
yeah. Basically, like someone else
I mean,
needs
it's
to like.
pretty cool that Norris is doing as well as he is. I like to see that.
That is cool. Yeah, the
Yeah.
fact that McLaren period is doing
Yeah.
really well is cool.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, it's not.
Tyler's very proud.
Yeah, it's not just one team just destroying all the others and then a couple other teams fighting for second. It's like actually a couple teams are actually winning.
They do me more proud if the races that Greg's like, if McLaren wins, I'm buying a McLaren, and they never win those races. Once that happens and Greg gets to eat his words, that's the day.
Oh yeah, that's true. They probably did sandbag Red Bull. I think it's like they probably have like, you know, when they inspect the cars or do whatever, like, you know, they probably have someone who's like, unplug this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that was not a cheap job.
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah.
So, do you know, since you have it, do you know if you're able to take it to the dealership, or can you pick where you take it, or how does that work?
We're gonna have to read all the details, I guess. Next thing you know, Josh is gonna say the WWE is rigged too.
It is right. I still watch that, by the way.
It's real. It's real. Yeah, it's real acting. There is a 2012 FF for sale here in Oklahoma City for about $95,000. It's 70,000 miles.
I didn't buy that.
I mean, if it's still running, that PTU's definitely been replaced.
If they have paperwork showing all that stuff's been done.
Oh, he took it to Ben's
Okay.
dealer.
All right. There you go.
Okay.
Way
Warranty
to go.
company takes a huge roll of the dice and they slap a 60,000 mile warranty on an F430.
Dude, so that was the crazy part is the warranties that they quoted. Like they gave us a sample quote for a 430, and like it was not that expensive, and they offered like very long mileage warranties. Like you could get like 70,000 mile warranties.
This I
And the
didn't
price-
know.
Huh?
Did you know
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a Getrag.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's basically the same. It probably had the same damn failure.
Probably.
Oh, we
But,
have a surprise coming on the driveway.
Uh-oh.
Oh Lord, yeah. Man, it looks like an F1 straightaway on the driveway.
I like it.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got to get it finished. We got to paint the fire lane towaway zone tomorrow. Woo. So fun.
Yay, Texas.
Yay, owning a property. Okay, dealers, COVID pricing is over. Get it or go under. I mean,
At
there's
least with
still
the
definitely
ADMs.
there's definitely a lot of overpriced cars out there.
Yeah.
The bill would have been $14,300. Oh, they
not that bad
for replacement of a transmission. That's cheap.
That is really cheap. Because I think Ferrari, it's like $40,000 for a new one, isn't it?
35. Make the Firelane tricolore.
Yes. Like it.
That would be hilarious. I don't think the fire department would like that. That would be fun though.
Did they like come back and do a random inspection, or are you just getting it done before they come back?
We have to get it done before they get back, otherwise we'll get fined.
Okay. Yeah. At least they didn't like come, surprise, it's not done yet.
No. So we had we did it basically once we got the shop done, they did an inspection and they basically said sometime after a year from now we're going to just show up. So it's just some random inspection. And they said this first time, you know, you get like basically a notification, these are the things you got to fix. The next time, if those things aren't fixed, you get fined.
Fair enough.
Yep. So something tells me those are probably not cheap fines.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Oh, don't put on timeout, but business partner and I drove the Ferrari FUV and it's wild. Felt so weird to drive that well. I'm sure it drives great. I mean, it's still a Ferrari. It just looks hideous.
It looks better in person because there was
It does.
someone that showed up to the barbecue, but
The only thing we'll say is at least it's not like a super large SUV. It's kind of a small SUV, which I know is like an oxymoron, but
Temple dude attempted to come over yesterday.
he did?
Thankfully, I was leaving as he was riding his mower down the street, so I sped out of there.
No way.
Poor guy.
He was riding his mower over, and I could hear his mower making weird noises. I was like,
Oh, no.
Not today, bro.
Well, he didn't come over at all today, thankfully.
Yeah.
God. I bet he, like, man, when we were both gone, you know, he probably showed up at like three, 4 times and just.
Sure.
Although you can't even look into the shop, the windows are tinted dark enough that like you can't really see in.
You could hear there's no music at least or something.
That's true. We should just leave the music playing
24/7.
Brent, I think they would park there if there was a fire and they had to put a fire out. They'll just drive in there. They don't care. But yes, for the most part.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh yeah, the fire truck would definitely sink in the asphalt a little bit, especially if it was one of the trucks that's got water in it. Although we had some dipshit driving a like oil tanker for the construction company that they're doing. He drove down our driveway and didn't totally demolish our asphalt. So actually, I had to do asphalt repair today, so that was super fun. I got super gross. I had to reseal some section and whatever. Like, so I think what happened is the area close to the shop, they did really thin, especially the further down the parking area you go, the thinner it was. The closer you get to the stream, the thicker it is, because that side doesn't seem to have any issues. But it was definitely one of those where we didn't pay much and it shows. The guy definitely did a not very good job in hindsight. Oh well.
Yep. Oh well.
What can you do? Dude, the trucks do tear the crap out of the driveway. It's crazy. It's like none of them know that you should be rolling when you turn the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they take chunks out of our driveway. It sucks.
Yeah. What do you all think the floor on the MC20 is?
0.
I don't know. I've not paid any attention to that car, to be honest.
I don't really care for the looks. For that kind of money, there's better cars you could get, in my opinion.
For that kind of risk, there's less risky cars that you could get.
True.
Like, it's a Maserati. You're going to lose money on it.
Yep. Here's not seriously, but if the right deal came around, yeah. It's been 2 years.
He needs a 720 Spider.
That would be acceptable.
That'd be nice. 675, 488.
Yep. I'm hearing good things.
Yeah.
I'm hearing good numbers.
I don't think a 675 would be enough of an upgrade for you, to be honest.
Everything I'm reading or watching though says it is. Like it's.
I mean, that could be like the Scud versus a 430.
What's different about it, other than like it's a little faster?
It's all the interior engine components are lighter. So yeah, and so there's less turbo lag, more horsepower, more aero. But then they have all the electronics that are in the 720 in the 650 body. So you get the drift control, better launch control.
Because you're using those all the time, right?
Well, no, but when everyone Burble tune, it's just everything about it is like everyone says if the 650 is a 75, that car's a 125. That's the Thorny method. So, but the 720 is a 200 on his scale. So, what does that tell you?
Yeah, and I think the 720 is probably the same price as the 675, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I'd go 720 all day over that.
Yep. So we'll see. See what happens.
There you go. Terry's got the right idea.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, see? I'm okay with that.
Just give him a price, Carrie.
Yeah. A reasonable
price. Does he want to sell it?
Yeah, Carrie's trying to sell the 458.
Oh, no. Why?
Yeah, keep it in the family, Carrie.
Are you going to replace it with something?
His Spider RS.
Carrie?
Yeah.
Well, he's got a Spider RS already.
That's why he's getting rid of the 458.
Oh, he just doesn't want them both?
Yeah.
We were talking about it.
The other Porsches.
Yeah. He let me drive the Spider RS in Tennessee, and we were talking about it. He's like, I drove this car for like 2,000 plus miles, and he's like, I jumped in the 458, and it was just like, nope, magic's gone. So.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Damn.
I'm paraphrasing his words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider's pretty cool, man. I gotta admit.
That's not 458 cool.
No.
Sorry, Carrie.
I'm scared to say a price. Because he might say yes, and then you won't have the car.
And then it'll actually be sold.
First right of refusal, man. You can have it back.
That is a hell of a spec car too.
Yeah. Like if you had to get a 458, that's the one to get. So
if you wanted a 458 Spider,
yeah,
that is. So and you don't want Rosa Corsa,
yeah,
but you still wanted it to be red. That is the red to get. That is a hell of a red.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't see it in person. I went back and watched the video when you guys picked it up. And
that's the coolest red on a Ferrari other than Rosa Corsa.
Yeah, if we went and saw it in person on Sunday, I'd be hounding Carrie a little bit harder. I can imagine. So
yes, you would.
I'm glad I didn't.
Come on, Dan. The Spider RS is just as cool as the 458. No. I'm sorry, it's not. You're talking about someone who hates convertibles. And now you have a toupe convertible where you manually got to roll up the top and everything. Again, no offense, Carrie, but it is kind of a stupid
top.
car.
The top on the Spider is.
It looks. It's like the Lamborghini Murcielago. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah, it is McLarenish to drive. It just does what you tell it to, and it goes, okay, cool. What's next?
Yeah, I would be less insulting if it was
that acceleration thrill in the Porsches.
It's not the same acceleration.
Yeah.
No.
Well, following Carrie's rules, if you keep it above 6,000, you do. That's the first thing he told me when I sat down in the car. Is like, you can only drive it if you keep it above 6,000 RPMs. Like,
Jesus.
Okay. What are you talking, Fred? Yes, I do. There's basically not a single convertible out there that I'm like, oh, that's the car I want to own. So I'm gonna go with yes. I do actually hate convertibles.
I'm not a huge fan either, but I would take a 720 Spider all day.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
I
a
think
458 or 488. It's got to have the carbon seats though, because I don't fit in
Yeah.
it with the regular seats.
no, convertibles are stupid. They're heavier, they're less rigid. There's more shit to break, and I'm bald, and I'm pasty white, and I
Well,
live in
McLarens
Texas.
have to be convertibles. That's just a rule in my mind.
McLarens? I
Yeah.
think McLarens are good as convertibles because it doesn't really change the car,
Yeah.
but it does make it more complex. There's more shit to go wrong. There's more stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Jonathan's right on that one.
Oh yeah. The average person will definitely look more at the 458 than a 718. I mean, here's the thing, and again, I'm not trying to be offensive, but when you showed me the picture of the Spider RS Carrie, I had no idea what the hell it was. I was just like, oh, cool, a Cayman.
I knew what it was.
But that's the thing, like, Porsches aren't. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna make a prediction. Carrie's gonna have that car for a while, and then he's gonna realize it's just a Porsche.
I mean,
prediction,
there is
Cotton.
one thing about the special Porsches is yes, they are a version of a basic Porsche that anybody can go and buy. And most people don't know the difference when they look at it. Most people.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the only reason I think he might not get rid of it is because he's just going to flog the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, he already is.
So I think if you're going to do that,
and that
then
car will put up with it.
Right, then that car makes sense, right? If you're just going to buy the Spider RS and beat the piss out of it and enjoy it, then okay, which kind of was, from what I understand, talking to him, that was his plan. So
he would like going around Dragon and those roads around there. He'd just disappear for like 10 minutes at a time. And like, holy shit! Like he's getting after it.
You know, he was hauling ass. I mean, combination of driver plus car equals fast.
Yep. It does drive pretty well. Yep. Muddy Tub.
I mean, it's definitely an improvement over their previous generations, and certainly throwing the GT, throwing that engine in there is impressive. Like, they should have done that.
It is still a convertible though, so it's going to lose a bit of its rigidity because of that.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only downside I see with that. But GT4 RS would probably be the ultimate.
Yeah. I hope you do have the most miles on a Spider RS ever, Carrie. That would be cool.
Yeah, throw that up.
Yeah.
Casey should be getting his in a couple months.
He's getting a Spider RS as well?
Yeah.
God.
You get a Spider RS and you get a Spider RS.
Right? I thought they were supposed to be all super impossible.
They are. Well, Casey just got a GT3 RS, and then he gets the Spider RS too. He figures out a way to get them all.
Yeah, that's true. You see any good prices on 550 Maranellos? No. I think they're overpriced right now.
They're way overpriced, especially when a 575 is like $100,000 cheaper.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Dan, would you rather have this Porsche Spider RS or a Huracan? Porsche Spider RS.
Good answer. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely Porsche.
Yeah, not even a question on that one. I am not impressed with the Huracan. And Casey owned a 458 just like Carrie. What does that say? It says that people whose first name starts with a C and end with a Y are lame.
No, it also it means that people sell Ferraris for Porsches. But in Casey's defense, he still has a couple Ferraris. So
true. You're talking like any of us can tell about the rigidity by the seat of our pants on the tail of the Dragon. That's true. I mean, yeah. Is the Testarossa a bargain right now? Yes. But do I think it'll drop? I don't know. I mean, if I could predict the future, I would be rich. But
Brent, I think that Super G has like 40K on it, doesn't it? Steve's Super G.
I think so.
And he wants to sell that car too, so if you're interested.
Yeah, he does want to sell it. Yeah. Everyone's got all these cars moving right now.
Yep.
Yeah. It's time for some fresh blood.
Well, I mean, admittedly though, as a gearhead, that's kind of how it is, right?
Yeah.
You
100%.
this is what we do instead of cheating on our wives. We just buy different cars.
I love
You know?
Come out and say it.
That should be a T-shirt.
I like it. I mean, he's had that 2.5 years. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's that itch you get every
Honestly,
2 years.
2 to 3 years is like, all right, I'm ready
I
for
can
some
only
new
do like
spring.
6 months.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you have a different background though. So.
There are a few cars that I've had, like my 911 Turbo I had, and I really liked that car. I had it for like 3 years or something.
Oh, the beard. So Steve made an account. Okay.
wait, is that Steve's account?
I assume so. Or Monica.
Okay. I mean, it does have a beard, so it would make sense to be called The Beard.
The beard.
The Beard.
The Bears.
Trying to think of it. Was there anything else about the trip to Pittsburgh that was notable? I mean,
You came up with some things you need to do to the GT40.
yes. Yeah. So I need to do a few modifications to the GT40. Alex, get over the 458.
He's just trolling.
I know. Good. That's yeah. But what if the wife is cheating? Well, that sounds like a different problem.
Yeah.
Then that means you get to go buy another Ferrari.
Yeah, when you give her that one in the divorce.
Well, hopefully you married up and she's got money, so when you divorce her, you take half her shit.
Oh, there you go.
And then you go buy a Ferrari.
Yeah, and then you go buy a Ferrari.
2 Ferraris.
Right? Yeah, so I need to 100% I need to straight pipe the GT40. Like straight up.
I agree and concur and second all in one.
Yeah.
It's going to be so loud.
Dude, no, it's not real. I mean, it's loud, but it's not crazy, and it changes the pitch and tone.
Oh, did you hear some that were straight piped?
Yes, and we actually, it was cool. We were talking to the guy that sold me the GT40, and he's like, "Oh, here, I've got one that's got straight pipes right here." So he fired it up, and then he's like, "That one over there has got the megaphone where the pipe actually gets bigger diameter."
Jesus.
And it was funny because we did not like that sound as much. It was too raspy. It didn't sound like the GT40. So obviously, so I need to straight pipe it, but I want to conduct an experiment because I was looking around and I am unaware of anyone that has a GT40 with the bundle of snakes headers, the crossover headers, and an X pipe.
Yep.
Because there's guys who don't have the crossover headers and have an X pipe. But that's like having a Mustang with an X pipe, right? It's going to sound the same as that. But the crossover headers with an X pipe might sound really unique and really interesting. So I actually emailed Teague from S-Line.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, "Hey, you want to do an experiment?" And he's like, "Sure."
Sweet.
So I think I might get S-Line to make me a custom exhaust, because it's a super, super simple exhaust.
Oh, it's like the easiest exhaust swap ever in a car.
Yeah, it's 4 bolts and 2 springs, and that's it. So, yeah,
180-degree straight pipes.
that's what it is. They call them 180-degree headers because you have 2 cylinders on each side that are 180 degrees separated, crossing over.
Yeah.
So it effectively has the same headers getting the same pulses as a flat plane crank would, which is really weird. So you have a cross plane crank that's got the pulses on the collector as the same as a flat plane crank, which gives it a very unique sound. But it doesn't have that high pitched scream. So, yeah. So there you go. You still have your car from high school? Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that might actually that actually might not be that impressive if you just graduated last year. So.
True.
We don't know.
My brother looked into finding his high school car, and it disappeared in like 2004. Hasn't been registered since. So.
Oh no, it's probably gone.
Yeah.
Mike, the car doesn't need to be rebuilt. It's running good. I would say if I ended up keeping that car for more than a year, the thing I thought about was to convert it over to fuel injection. Like they have a 8 velocity stack fuel injection system for it, so it looks like the originals with the 8 separate throttle bodies.
What would be the advantage of that?
I mean, it'll pick up a little power with the fuel injection. You know, it'll certainly run a little bit better. But you kind of lose some of that, like, I don't know, being carbureted, it's like feels more authentic.
Yeah. You know, you vapor lock when you park on a track, super hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was fun. So, so they're doing the photo shoot at the reunion, and they have all the GT40s go out on track, and then they have them come around to the start finish line, and then they like want to start pointing to where you're supposed to park. And I don't know why, but this took 30 plus minutes.
Insane amount of time.
A very long time. And so you've got all these GT40s out on track. A lot of them don't have very good cooling systems. Mine's fine. Mine's got modern shit. It was like, we're sitting there with the AC blasting. Yeah. We're like, whatever.
You could also see the poor souls that don't have AC and they have the doors open trying to.
Yeah, so you see doors open everywhere down the track. So like everyone's just sweating their nuts off. They finally get us parked, and my car vapor locks. Because, you know, we ran it for so long, it idled for so long, it just heated up all the fuel lines. I go back out there to start it. It starts up, it runs for 10 seconds, and then shuts off and vapor locks. And I'm like, shit. So I'm cranking it over. Here's your kiddo. Cranking it over, trying to get the damn thing started. And the dude's like, you need to go. You need to go. And he's like, go. And I'm like, do you hear me cranking the engine?
Yeah, I'm trying to start it.
Like, this is not something I'm trying to not do. Right now, I'm pushing the button and it's cranking and nothing's happening. So I put it in the neutral and I just start gliding down the hill. And I'm like, there.
Yeah, we're going.
I'm rolling away very
Stop
slowly.
yelling.
Like, screw you. So finally, I like bump start it. It pulls more fuel through. It dies again, and I'm able to like actually crank it and start it. But man, that was rough.
Yeah.
Dual 4-bills. I mean, it doesn't really need them. It's got a big carb on it. It's flowing enough air. Like, I don't think it would really pick up much power with more carburetor. So theoretically, it would not idle any smoother because you'd still be idling at the same RPM, and it's the cam that sets the roughness as the idle. Unless you like, there's people who now program. Have you seen that? They program the fuel injection system to actually cause a fake Lopi idle.
Oh, really?
Really?
I've not seen that.
That's stupid.
I was like, what?
Put some speakers in there that make it sound like an engine.
Might as well. Hey, look at my Lopi cam.
Fake sound, fake lope.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
The GT40 does not diesel when you turn it off. Its timing is set correctly. It's only a problem if your timing's off, not just because it's carbureted.
Is that better, Brent? Sorry.
Dan, I recommend a podcast as you have interesting friends, clients, and followers. Seem like a given for free.
I mean, that's what this kind of is, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is basically a podcast with pictures.
Yeah, you unfortunately have to look at us the whole time.
It's an unorganized podcast.
There you go.
We don't have like certain things we're going to talk about or whatever. Maybe we should do that. But if we do a podcast, then it's not live. It's pre-recorded.
True.
And you listen to it.
I mean, we could always do that. But the problem is, like, I don't know if there's enough going on every single, like.
Well, in a podcast, we pick a topic to discuss between us, and then maybe we have questions that are sent in, and we answer questions or something like that.
There's plenty of podcasts I listen to though that are live streams that they just reposted as the podcast.
Oh, okay.
I've done that. Believe it or not, I was doing that for a while. I was downloading this live stream and converting into a podcast, and I did it like I'm gonna say 15, 20 times, and I had exactly like 1 or 2 listens, so I gave up on that because it was a lot of work to get 0 results.
Yeah, and I agree. The live interaction makes it more fun for us to do it too.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I could just sit there and talk about some topic for.
We could do a more structured version of what we're doing now.
Yeah,
sure.
And then it could be converted into a podcast. Yeah, like here's what we're talking about tonight. Go through it at the beginning, and then we could try that.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to do it right, like you could do a live where you pre-select questions. That way you could do research and have answers.
Yeah.
And stuff ahead of time, because that's part of the problem, I guess, with doing live is, you get a question that might be really interesting question, but it's like, I can't answer this right now because I don't have the right data.
Yep.
Right.
Can't tolerate Doug on the podcast.
He's a little much.
I feel like
I still listen to all of them, but sometimes I'm like, all right, dude,
I don't know. Like he's starting to get kind of in his own head. I feel like his success is he's kind of lost his original way, where it was like, I'm fighting to succeed, and now it's like I've succeeded, so I know I've succeeded, and it just doesn't have the same vibe anymore. It's almost a little bit arrogant.
Here's what we need, because you'll never know we have bikini models.
Actually, we'll just tell people we have bikini models. Have we hit 100 vehicle sales? I think so, haven't we?
I'm looking right now. I was just checking. I think we're close to 100 if we're not over.
It's got to be very close.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like when I look at how many cars we've sold now, I'm like, wow,
we've done like 30 this year so far.
Nice.
Dang. Yeah, I agree. Doug and Cars and Bids have lost their way. Don't watch their stuff that much anymore. Yeah, I just don't watch.
I mean, I like the podcast because they still do talk about shitbox cars and whatever, but they're kind of, I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know how to explain it. If these guys probably know what I'm talking about. They're trying too hard, I feel like.
Interesting people have interesting stories, and like 20 of them. But the problem is, interesting people are busy.
They don't want to come.
Yeah, convincing, and a lot of them don't want to be on video or audio or whatever.
Yep, that's another big one.
They want to be kept private. Like they're not out to like sow their royal oats.
Is that
Alex,
what we're doing?
I think you're kind of on point on that, Alex. I would agree with that.
You can see that.
RLA was under a $4 million photocopier fixing a couple pneumatic lines. Jeez, $4 million photocopier sounds.
What uses a $4 million photocopier?
I know, right?
I'm in the wrong
and
business.
pneumatic lines. Like, what are we doing here?
Hardcore stuff, man.
Is it printing out books or something?
Yeah, it's got to be a newspaper printer or something.
Yeah, it got to be like some sort of commercial printer type thing. Silence.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We're all exhausted. Yeah. Someone asked a while ago how the Defender's doing. It's fine. It's still a daily driver.
Still running?
Still running.
Has all its coolant in it.
Yeah. It had to replace the coolant tank twice, but it's all under warranty. So
Really?
yeah. First was a recall, and then second, they did it because they couldn't find what was leaking, and that fixed it. So,
Brent, are you saying there's a podcast about commercial tires?
Really?
wow.
All right.
You gotta be
What is there to talk about?
yeah. Rubber compounds, man.
Right.
Yeah, commercial printing. Okay.
I don't even know if it's the Ford GT, Countach, and CGT that's gotten to his head. I think it's just he knows that he's cashed out hardcore for car YouTubers. Like he's cashed out better than probably any other car YouTuber.
Well, in his defense, he was one of the first ones to do it.
Oh yeah, no.
So,
I'm not shitting on him at all. I think he did exactly what he should have done.
Yeah.
Like, kudos to him, man. He crushed it. Like, and that's the thing is like, but because of that, he even said something about after he kind of got the big investment and everything. I remember seeing an interview with him, and he was talking about how he wants to do all these other videos for stuff that's more like stuff that he's interested in, not necessarily stuff that's interested for the like promotion of his company or whatever. And so maybe that's kind of some of the stuff he's doing, and it's kind of like showing his personality, and maybe his personality is a personality we like as much. I don't know. I don't really know. I've never met Doug, so I don't, have any ability to make judgment or whatever. But at the same time, there's a lot of YouTubers who make lots of content that I don't really like, but I'm sure probably would get along famously with in person. So,
yep.
We've talked about buying cheap ass cars and driving them back, but finding the cheapest Ferrari in the country and driving it back to Austin is not really as motivating because you're going to just lose your ass on it.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to fund that, we'd be happy to do it.
Sure. Yeah. I'm down.
Yeah. You were talking about like who can go buy an auction car and get it back here, like race that.
We should do that because that's like, that would be interesting. Well, maybe. I don't know if people really care, but it'd be fun.
We could still do that. We could set a budget and go to the auction. We got to buy some turd and bring it back and see how much money we can sell it for.
Yeah.
We'll go to Mannheim, San Antonio because there's only turds down there.
Yeah. Dude, what is up with that? That is definitely like not a high caliber Mannheim.
I don't know. It's like everything south of Austin and Texas is just no. You don't buy cars from south of Austin.
Yeah. Dude, this one boggles my mind a bit. I saw that and I was like, pizza. He's run out of stuff to do. I mean, I understand he likes pizza, but like you have a huge audience of gearheads. And the business idea you come up with is pizza?
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, too, it's like he can open a pizza place, and even though he's got however many million subscribers, nobody's going there. Everybody that goes there is not going to know who he is.
That's the thing. His name doesn't carry weight in the restaurant world.
Or anywhere outside of YouTube, really.
It was so weird. The only thing I can think of is someone else wanted to start a pizza company, and they're like, hey, if you throw your name on it, we'll give you part of the company or something like that, right? The only thing I can think of is hopefully he didn't have to put anything into it other than endorse it. I don't know. As a business person, I saw that one, and I was like, no, man. I could be wrong, but like, okay, Doug DeMuro did it right? He crushed it. Cletus McFarland is actively doing it right.
Yep.
Like he's
I like Cletus's videos because he's just like you can tell that the way when he talks and the way he acts is actually how he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
and he's
just
having fun.
Chill, and he's just having a blast.
Yep. Yep.
And he's not like trying to be something he's not. He's not trying to impress anybody. He's just like being himself, and that's what I like about it. Even though I
You're
don't
just having a
some
good
of the
old
stuff
time.
he does, I'm like whatever, but I still appreciate what he's doing.
I don't know, man. I think if I had a ton of money and access to stuff, he's doing exactly what I would be doing. I 100% would be like, let's drop the biggest engine we can into this piece of shit and throw it on the dyno and spray nitrous into the front of it and see what happens. I mean, they were doing how much they were trying to see how much diesel they could pour into a gas tank of this C5 Corvette and have it still run.
Oh God.
Not much.
Dude, no, it got to like 85% diesel.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it ran. I mean, it started losing power pretty substantially at like, but I was like, holy crap! I was really anyway. But that's the thing. Like Cletus is killing it. Doug DeMuro killed it. I don't know that he's currently killing it, but he did kill it. Like, they're doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do a YouTube channel.
Fred may have a bit of a point there too.
I don't know. Define real car guy. Like, he loves cars, but I don't know that he's not a wrench, right? He's not like.
Yeah, he came into it because he was forced into doing something to have work, right? So,
but he was car spotting.
Yeah. So that was the natural flow. It's like he likes cars. But...
That's like there's almost like there's different classifications of gearheads, right? You've got gearheads who like are all about the numbers, right? You've got gearheads who are all about like I don't know how you even call it, but like there's a bunch of car spotters now. Like that's a big thing, and that's what they care about is just I got to see this car, and that's their enjoyment, and not necessarily like I own this car. There's car guys who just want to race. There's car guys who just want to stare at their car. There's car guys who just want to collect them. So it's different things. But yeah, Strat is very hyper on camera and not that way in person.
Yeah, he turns it off. Yeah,
it is definitely an on-off switch for him.
See, and that's one thing that I don't like about him, and I do like about like Cletus is that his personalities. I mean, I don't know. I've never met the dude in person, but Cletus seems like that's how he would act off camera too, kind of how he acts.
When I met Cletus, he is super nice in person. Very, very, very nice. Like he's also tall as shit, by the way. He's like 6'5".
I believe that.
I was like, Jesus Christ, you're tall. But he was just like, because I was trying to get him track time at that event. And he wasn't supposed to, right? And so it was this whole thing or whatever, and the organizers like didn't like him, so they didn't want him to go on the track. So I had to basically pay off the organizers. So I bought him track time.
Jeez.
This is back when I was making money on YouTube. So I could throw money at it.
Speaking of, we need to get you to go do one of his races.
Oh my God, dude. I've thought about that. That would be a dream come true.
That would be awesome.
Looks so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. I want to do that. I mean, I'm sure I would suck. I would probably piss myself because like that's not just like racing, that's racing and crashing.
Yeah.
So
but you're all restrained, it's all safe as it gets, right?
Dude, have you ever been in like a go-kart that crashes even though you're all strapped in? You're bruised the next day.
Oh yeah.
I can't even imagine the shit they're doing. They've got to be bruised and beat up.
Some of those races don't get that bad. Like they're not going to let you do a demolition derby.
No, but I mean they get whacked pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody knows him, reach out to him for us and tell him we want to be in one of his races.
Yeah, right.
We will make it.
He has like YouTuber races and stuff. So
problem is basically every single one of his YouTubers on it has at least 1 million subscribers.
Oh, that's how we get you there. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, he needs to do one for the little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least throw one of us in a car and when we're going up against all these other dudes.
It's too
We
bad
can take 'em.
we couldn't convince them to be like, all right, we'll take the salvage 458. You buy it from us, and we'll track that bitch
Oh shit.
and see if it can make it.
You need to dump a salvage, garbage Ferrari engine into some beater, Grand Prix or Mercury.
Oh, dude,
whatever.
do a Crown Vic with a Ferrari engine.
Yeah. And then take it out there and do like Cletus and Cars and do smoky burnouts and yeah.
Okay, so maybe that's what we need to do. We need to do something stupid, and then the video is just like, title the video, Cletus, I need to be in your race, and we just see if we can get that momentum going.
I like it.
We have to do something stupid though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm in, but I don't have any money right now, so I can't.
Yeah.
We need
That's Charlie, the Alaska Jump channel. The Alaska Jump video is awesome.
Yes.
I really want to go to that.
Did you see
really
the
wanna
C-130 that flew over this year?
Dude,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Oh my god. Yeah. We need
They
to do
timed
that.
it perfectly that they were launching a car right as it was
Yeah.
flying by. I was like, oh my god, that's so awesome.
Oh, we need to do that.
And then the best is the Coast Guard actually gave them footage from the plane, so you can actually see. That's actually talk about another YouTube channel that's killed it. 1320 video.
Yeah.
Like if you're into drag racing, you of course know 1320. Like if you go to a drag racing event, half the crowd there is wearing a 1320 merch. It's crazy. Crazy.
That's cool, Fred. So you can program keys now in ECUs.
No.
Oh.
Fancy.
We'll have to see if that works. If that works, we might have to get that too.
You should try it on your car first, so that when you brick it, it'll work. Because I believe our launch can do key programming. We've just been too scared to do it. Did the Eternia sell already? Yeah. Well, we have a deal pending for it.
Oh, it's already paid for.
Oh, that's right. He did pay for it.
Paperwork's it's done.
Where'd he send the money?
To the bank account.
Which one?
Our bank.
It did?
Yeah. Like last week
Oh,
when you were gone.
I don't even remember that. It was. I guess it wasn't much of a difference, right?
No, it was only like $5 or $6 grand.
Okay. I'm behind. I'm out of the loop.
Yeah. Was Casey glad the Romas sold?
Yes and no. He took a pretty big slap in the face on it.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know.
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Wow.
Hey, Allison.
Oh, hello.
They
He
also
came with 1 minute to spare.
Yeah.
And Kiddo. I'm still catching up from
Oh yeah.
this weekend. I should be happy now? I mean, I'm usually happy. What happened? I missed
Got money.
something.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll be happier if I sell a bunch of cars and get a bunch of views.
There you go. Yeah, we still need that 100K. We need that silver plaque on the wall.
I want that damn thing on the wall so bad.
So like, share, subscribe, whatever else you do to YouTube here.
Right?
There's only
Have we
42
sold the car
likes, so-
3 times yet?
I've done that before. I've done like 4 times on a couple cars.
Just keep getting
No.
traded back in.
We've got a couple of
Traded back in, repoed, whatever.
repoed. But you didn't do like the bank repo and then sell it to you, or what?
No, I did I did some buy here, pay here back in the day.
Did?
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Oh no way! You had to repo them?
yeah.
Is that sketchy as hell?
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun times. I wouldn't do it now.
There's a good video. Repost
So-
this.
Everyone's
when
got
I-
a gun.
Yeah.
Before I started in the car business, before I like did my own thing, I was helping a friend who had a dealership, and he was kind of showing me some stuff or whatever. And he's like, "Hey, I need to go repo these 3 cars today." He was buy here, pay here, and I can't repo them as my dealership, but I can hire somebody to repo them for me. So I'm going to hire you, and we're going to go get these cars. And I was like, hell yeah, it's like $200 a pop. And we have the extra key, and we know where the cars are because they have GPS trackers on them. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, looking back, it was pretty stupid, but we just roll up and I'd run out, jump out of the car, and jump in the car and take off.
Oof. No, thank you.
And we would have to call the police on our way there and let them know, hey, we're repoing this car. Here's the plate number and the VIN, whatever. So yeah, I had people chase me.
You had people chase you?
Oh yeah, definitely a video. All right.
I just feel like, dude, you do that in Texas, you're gonna get shot.
This is back in probably 2007, 2008,
in
2009.
Texas.
Yeah,
they had guns back then.
And this is down where Coda is. Coda wasn't there yet.
Oh, yeah,
like in Bell Valley is where we.
Yeah.
Back
I
then,
know.
yeah, dude. Holy crap! No, thank you. Woo. Oh, was Mike talking about the GT40?
I didn't know he did it live. That's cool.
Yeah, he's got lives every week. His are usually on Wednesday. I'll have to go watch it. I didn't know about that. His video was pretty cool too. He did a video on the GT40, but oh well.
Alex, we sold the cop car, and funny story about the cop car. Did we talk about that
yet? I haven't talked about it.
Okay, so I'll let you say because you're the one that dealt with the cop.
Yeah. Are we supposed to talk about this yet?
You might not be able to.
He didn't tell us not to. I guess, you know what? No, because it's an act of, well, yeah, I don't think it matters. I'll talk about it. Whatever. Okay, so.
Wait, should it be a video?
Yes.
No, I don't know if it should be a video. We don't want to.
I don't know if it's full. Yeah, it could be. I'll tell the story and you guys tell me. I'll do the quick version of the story since it's already past our time.
All right.
The short version of the story is we got a call from a Austin police officer who's a detective and asked me, because I happened to answer the phone, asked me about if I had any information about that cop car that we sold. And I'm like, what sort of information? And he was like, well, can you tell us about the transaction, the person who bought it, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, sure. And I'm like, what is this about? Because we're not going to tell information unless there's a subpoena. And he's like, oh, well, the person who bought it is currently wanted for armed robbery and some other stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, I can get you a subpoena. I'm like, okay. So anyway, I had to tell him whatever information we had, which I told him wasn't really. I was like, I don't think I have any information that you don't already have. He was like, hey, do you have a GPS tracker on it? Because he was like, given that car, he's like, I thought maybe it'd be a buy here, pay here. Oh, and I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, and he's like, he doesn't owe anything on it. I'm like, no, he paid cash. And he's like, oh, he paid cash. I'm like, yeah, physical cash, like greenbacks. And he's like, okay, how much? And I had to tell him how much it was, whatever. And I was like, yeah, it was. Unlike most, I was like, well, unlike a lot of our clients who pay cash, this was not 100s. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that's funny.
So anyway, there you go. I guess I could do the details, but all right. Well, we're way past our time. So thanks everyone for joining us. Again, Saturday, Sunday, cool videos coming out. So watch those. Yeah, stay tuned. We'll be doing car stuff. I got to work on the GT40. So, yeah, we'll see you later.
Sweet.